Good morning, beautiful people. It is August 14th. It's Friday. My vacation is disappearing before my eyes, but that's okay. It's all good stuff. It's a Blue October Justin night, so that's a great Friday night date I'm looking forward to. And the sun is shining, so lots of gratitude this morning. Today's reading starts with a quote from Oscar Wilde, who says, "To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance." People who value themselves take good care of themselves. The better care we give ourselves, the healthier we become, and in turn, the more we value ourselves. Since most of us have difficulty feeling valuable, we can start to improve our self-esteem by taking good care. It's the little things, like a woman putting some pretty color on her nails, or a man enjoying a soothing bath instead of a shower. Making a complete healthy meal for ourselves because we're important with help of our self-esteem. Spending time with friends or a quiet time with our higher power can also help. Sometimes we may feel low. We may actually want to believe we are not worth great care. This is sad, and it's not sobriety or freedom from gambling. Sobriety is doing the things that are healthy, even if we'd rather not. It means eating a balanced diet and getting enough rest, exercising our minds, and embracing a spiritual way of life. It's a lot of work, but soon the payoff begins. We feel lovable, worthwhile, happy, and hopeful again. Today, let me do one small, nice thing for myself. Self-care, self-devotion. This is my kind of reading. Of course, I like most of these readings, right? Interestingly enough, we were just, right before I jumped on here, I was just looking at, we put together a self-care blueprint, and it really, I think it does a nice job of helping people get in that zone of practicing the small steps involved with self-care. And it definitely is, I love how it mentions that, it's starting with the little things. And it's true. You don't just wake up the day after you quit gambling and go for a 2-mile walk, eat a good breakfast, pray, meditate, read, write in your journal. It just doesn't happen. As I've shared with you, my routine, which, by the way, routine for me is a self-care item. It helps keep me structured and accountable if my time and my routine are set in place. It also makes me crabby when I don't get to do my routine, which might be a little pitfall. My routine in the beginning when I first quit gambling was different. And of course I was still drinking back then. So that made it look a little different in itself. And as time continues, I keep adding or modifying, or I want to be open to learning. That's really important to me. So if I get invited into challenges, or I participate in the Ditching the Booze class, I've told you how Paul kind of gave us a nice foundation for a routine when working with him. I leave myself open to modify my routine. And what's happening over time is I'm developing my own. I take what works the best for me. But the trick is starting with something. I've always been a walker. I can remember walking in my teenage years. I'd get up and go out and walk in the morning before, work or school. And it's just something that's always stuck with me. So that was an easy one to hang on to. Maybe my walks got longer. This meditation stuff, though, is new, the last year and a half, where I've been dedicating time to it. So that one takes more practice to build into my routine. Right now, with the 75 hard, like I think about this every day because I'm totally enjoying this. And as a reminder, some of the rules are I have to drink a gallon of water. I have to exercise twice a day for at least 45 minutes. And one of them has to be outside. No cheating on my diet. No alcohol. Taking a progress photo. I can't remember if I'm forgetting it. Oh, and reading out of a book, a real book for, 10 pages. If I tried to do that the first month of my recovery, I'm not sure that I would be as successful as I feel like I'm being in doing it now. So far, I'm like on day 18, and there's been days that I've exercised 3 times instead of just 2. My diet for the sake of this program is intermittent fasting. So I've made it. I started in the beginning a little wimpy. The first 3 or 4 days, I was like, oh, well, at least 12 hours. Well, 12 hours wasn't hard enough. So now I have to fast for at least 16 hours or else it's considered cheating on my diet. That's kind of the rule. And then, of course, I made it harder with no cigarettes and caffeine, which is probably why I'm yawning all the time. Regardless, though, if I tried to do that, like I said, very early on in my recovery, I think I would have not only failed miserably at it, it would have given me another excuse to beat myself up and to be frustrated and to keep my self-esteem low. And that's very counterproductive in the case of taking care of ourselves and trying to, work towards a better quality of life. So I'm explaining that because I want when you think about self-care and when you think about implementing these ideas and these concepts to take care of yourself, don't use it as another way to punish yourself or keep you down or make it, don't make the goal so unattainable that you begin to spiral in a whole other direction, because that just defeats the purpose. I'm perfectly content with this idea of, if you're a female who never put nail polish on before or doesn't do it often or treat themselves, or maybe it's going to get a pedicure, if you've made it, say, a couple weeks and now you haven't gambled. So I know there's bills. There's going to always be bills, guys. But maybe you take $20, $30 and you go get a pedicure and you treat yourself as a reward. So we're all worth it, and we're all beautiful people, and we all deserve to take care of ourselves and to treat ourselves. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a reward. We should just know that we're worth it. And I know that that's so hard to get to. For me, it was 40 something years to actually put it in the right context of that value and really having an understanding of feeling worth it and feeling like I could do, like I always associated my gambling with a sense of entitlement. Like I could do this because it's my money. I could do whatever I want. But really giving myself the gift of not gambling really reflects how much I think I'm worth it. Because now, instead of betting away my income, I've invested it now into my business. I've traveled. I definitely give away more money than I ever have. And again, I still have bills. In my mind, it doesn't matter because I feel like I'm going to always have bills. And I chose to pay my bills instead of going bankrupt. So I'm going to not shortchange myself because I'm going to have to work my ass off to finish paying it off. And that's okay. But it also means I can kind of do it in my time and continue to, have memberships to, and I know right now it's not as relevant, but to the Y, or if I want to go on, they've done little Zumba cruises locally or different events. If I want to go spend an hour in an escape room, because I enjoy things like that, it's all fine. I can do that. And I could do that not from the sense of just having the means to do that, but having the mentality to do that and knowing that I deserve it. Like, I have a lot of things I want to get done before I go back to work on Monday, but I know myself well enough to know that if I just did all that all weekend, I will be like not in a good place. I will be mad at myself for not taking advantage. So I'm pretty sure I'll end up golfing before the weekend is out because I deserve to golf and I'm worth it and I've been working hard. Now, am I using golf as a reward if I get my things done? Yes. That's just one of my strategies. And, it works. It's not like I'm not motivated, but it's definitely additional motivation. And it feels like a treat when I get to go that way. So I want you to think about today, guys, is what is one small little self-care activity that you can do for yourself today? Just one small, nice thing. Maybe it's even picking yourself some flowers. There's plenty of beautiful things in bloom right now, of course, depending on what part of the world you're in. Pick yourself a vase full of flowers just to have in the house. That's free, right? And those flowers will make you smile every time you walk in a room. Or instead of having a candy bar, have a piece of fruit. Of course, I will tell you, I've been thinking about a chocolate milkshake all week. I shouldn't say that. And that may even be an indulgence in my self-care. But it's also counterintuitive because why, exercise a couple times a day if I'm going to go eat chocolate milkshakes when I'm done with my fast? Kind of doesn't make a lot of sense. But part of me still wants a chocolate milkshake, and I kind of rationalize it with, well, I haven't had coffee or a cigarette or a drink or a bet. Like these things are building up. But it shouldn't be a way to diminish my internal health. Anyway, so I totally digressed as normal. So do that. Spend some time, whether it's do a small thing, whether it's picking flowers, do a 2-minute meditation. We talked about how just taking a couple breaths counts as a meditation. Do something for yourself. And while you're doing it or picking what you're doing, I want you to think about, and maybe you don't even need to believe it today, but just tell yourself, I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I'm worth it. I deserve this. I deserve this. I deserve this. I'm a beautiful people. I'm a beautiful people. Whatever it is, come up with the mantra that works for you, or that whatever it is that you want to fully believe, because I believe it. I believe it for you. I know you're worth it. I know you're a beautiful people. I know you deserve it. So I need you to believe that as well. So take that moment and give yourself that gift today and every day, really. But that's your to-do for today. I'm going to go give myself my next self-esteem boost, and I am going to go for a walk. And one of the things that I figured out about my walks is I can keep one for me to listen to books and things, and then I can use the other to catch up with friends. So I am going to go on my walk and I am going to call one of my friends and I'm going to visit. And I've been enjoying that since I've incorporated that into this week, and it's helping me stay a little better connected with people I love. So I like that. All right, beautiful people, let's kick off this Friday right and give yourself something that you deserve. All right. Love you guys. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you tonight.